What happens when you stop treating technology like overhead and start using it to give people their time back? You just hit play on 10-minute Tech Talks, business insights and growth hacks for the time-crunched entrepreneur. And I'm your host, Jonathan Kirsting with the Pittsburgh Technology Council and Tech Vibe Radio. In this quick conversation, I talk with Monica Fletcher of Auberle, a nonprofit leader who's thinking like a startup operator. She's finding friction, digitizing clunky processes, and using data to make smarter decisions, and rolling out AI in a way that supports people instead of replacing them. A few key takeaways for me include why tech first does not mean tech only. You can learn how to spot friction points that are quickly draining your team, and why the best use of AI might be giving your people more time for the work only humans can do. Even though Monica works in human services, the lessons here travel really well for founders, managers, and anyone trying to build a smarter, more efficient organization. Let's jump into the conversation right now. I think something that we can also talk about that I think is just so important is that you don't often see a nonprofit being able to invest. A lot of times they see it as overhead, so you're trying to find ways to cut in some ways, because we all know what everyone's up against. You're not getting any less clients coming in, and there's not always more money coming in. People are like, well, we can cut the tech first and stuff like that. But you're actually, I think, which is great, you're making a strategic decision to invest in technology so you can better empower your workers and make their jobs, I guess, more automated in ways that allows them to spend their time as a human being helping people, not filling out paperwork and all the stuff that we love doing at the end of the day, right? I'm like filling out a stack of forms when, you've had 8 hours of helping, a group of people and so forth. So jump into some of that with me, please.
We really want to take away that burden. And so what we're doing right now is we've gone through and we're still in the process of it, but we're meeting with each team. So each program sitting down, we call them our data strategy meetings. So it's about two things. One is, what are the processes that are causing friction, and how can we identify both an efficiency there, but a way of data collection that will allow us to move in a direction that allows us to make more informed decisions. So it's really combining those two pieces that we're looking at right now. So we've started digitizing. We're going to do that. We'll go one by one with each program, go through what their processes are, and then identify where can we reduce the friction.
Absolutely.
Where are the friction points? Where's the frustration? And technology first. So that's kind of the motto that we've been looking at is,
love it.
Going tech first. It's not tech only. It doesn't replace the human work.
Exactly.
This is human services.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, it is. We are the epitome of what it is.
Well, they are working really hard on these robots these days.
It's true.
But I'm still going to bet on the human being first.
It's not going to take the place of a good conversation.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So we want people out there having those conversations. And so, so we're looking at, we started that process of digitization, and talking about the outcome is way more exciting than the process to get there. But the process to get there is, it's something that takes time and investment, both from the program, from our technologies, people that are specialized in the technology. And it's a very hopeful process because we know we're moving in that direction.
And so, what I'm curious, I feel like you're having therapy sessions with all these different groups of staff, because I'm sure they have to be very excited about the fact that there's this investment being made in order to help them be better at their job and everything like that. But also there's sometimes a fear of technology as well too. But I feel like the way you're leading on this, you're leading really hard in that this is here to be a tool for you, not something that's going to replace you. Because we don't want that happening.
That's right. And there is a lot of conversation just globally, right? About what AI is a replacement and things like that. And so it's really important that we as an agency are communicating what is our position to make sure that people understand we're using technology to support your work. We know people aren't going away. This is people, forward work. This is people first work.
Oh, 100%. That's why when I kicked this thing off, I was just really excited to talk about how the technology is going to do this. But I have so many questions. I want to order these in the right way. And in my mind, I keep going to, first and foremost, you have to be finding some pretty surprising things as you're working with these folks, learning what their processes are. And I love it when you see talking about finding the friction. That to me is really cool, because that's the part where you're like, oh, if I do this, it's going to take me 10 minutes. And it's that's friction. Is there anything that's popped up that's been kind of surprising to you at all, or something that you're like, wow, that's crazy and we can solve that?
Right. I mean, really, it's been surprising to just see the volume
Okay.
of it.
I can imagine.
To walk into a room and see the volume of filing cabinets that are packed full of documentation, and still somebody is putting paperwork into a folder to add to it. And when I think about that, just the
volume, that has to be
pretty
stifling. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it is.
And obviously, I mean, this is something that is ongoing right now.
Yes.
And everything. But what are some of the tools you're going to be thinking about using, or have you already started implementing some things as you're doing this? How is that coming together?
Yeah. So, I mean, really, we're trying to first use the tools that we have and make sure that we're maximizing.
Okay.
I mean, everything from our HRS system and the way we're using that. Right now, we're also implementing another tool that'll help us digitize and take digital signatures. So we're working through that. So we're looking at 2 ways, maximize what we have and then identify what we may need to add.
Interesting. I love this. I'm thinking about like the ways, like with how AI is just simplifying so many things. And I mean, I embrace in some ways, everyone just is. I feel like if you're not embracing it right now, like there's gotta be something wrong with you, or you're just making life hard on yourself as far as this. What I get excited about is that there can be some very simple technology moves that can actually have a really big impact.
Absolutely. And AI is amazing. I mean, right now we use Copilot because we know that Copilot is a closed system for us. So we're able to use that. And it's a great tool to just double check things, put your document in there, ask, is there a best practice I'm missing here? Is there something unclear about it? Make sure that the communications are clear. So it's really great for email.
100%.
They can be really misinterpreted pretty easily. It's great as a tool in that way. And we'll be looking at ways that we can implement those kinds of tools when it comes to case notes and things that people are spending a lot of time on. What could we do more efficiently using AI?
Oh, yeah.
So we will continue to look at that and build how we're using these tools.
Yeah, I get really excited when you mention that, because I think about like a caseworker and how much time they have to spend taking these notes and then doing everything to file them properly. And that probably, I bet you with that being automated, that's probably 15, 20 more minutes that they can actually spend with somebody, getting to know them, giving them more opportunity to interface so they can really figure out how to best help them and not worry about like, I got to get back to the office and make sure I get all this paperwork filed, right?
And that's what makes it so consequential.
Exactly. That was Monica Fletcher of Auberle with a smart reminder that innovation doesn't always begin with a new product. Sometimes it starts by finding friction, fixing broken processes, and using technology to free up your team for more meaningful work. For entrepreneurs, that's the gold nugget here. Use data, use AI carefully, measure what matters, and make sure the tools serve the people and not the other way around. Hey, if you enjoyed this episode of 10-Minute Tech Talks, be sure to check out the full Tech Vibe conversation where we go deeper into Monica's work transforming Auberle's systems, culture, and long-term sustainability. The link is in the description. I hope you click it. I look forward to seeing you on the next one.